the Texas Rangers signed Adrian Beltre in the offseason. They were expecting solid play at the hot corner. Well, they've gotten that. They were also expecting him to provide power at the plate. And Adrian has homered in each of his last 2 games. It's that kind of run support and defense that Rangers starting pitcher Derek Holland should expect today in the rubber game of the series against the New York Mets. Right now on Fox Sports Southwest. On a hot, windy Sunday afternoon, welcome to Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. Today, the third and final game of this interleague series between the Rangers and the New York Mets. And welcome, Dave Barnett along with Tom Grieve. Rangers won easily Friday night, lost big yesterday, but Tom, one common denominator through the first 2 games is very strong play by Adrian Beltre.
No doubt about it. When the Rangers lost Vladimir Guerrero, they needed someone to emerge in the middle of the lineup, and Adrian Beltre has not only emerged in the lineup, he's been a Gold Glove caliber defensive player. Friday night, big home run, made it 3-0 in the first inning, line shot to left field. Yesterday, almost the same shot, line drive to left center field. In this series, he's had 4 hits, a couple of home runs, a couple of doubles, 4th in the league in RBIs, just out of the top 10 in home runs, playing great defense. He's been everything the Rangers could have hoped for. And
his and the Rangers' challenge today will be Dylan G, maybe a familiar name if you followed UTA baseball the last several years. He's from Cleveland, expects maybe 1,000 people in the stands from his hometown today. G against Derek Holland, the Mets against the Rangers. Lineups, first pitch next. Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Check out the Ford F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. By the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. By Jack in the Box, where you can get anything on the menu any time of day. By Citibank. And by Southwest Airlines. New Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. Just about set to get the third game of this series, the Mets and the Rangers underway. And let's check in with Emily Jones.
Well, Dave, Andres Blanco back in the lineup today at shortstop. Elvis Andrus will miss his second straight game with that left wrist sprain. Elvis does say he is feeling better, and it's a lot better than what he originally thought when he injured it on Friday night.
I was in that moment really frustrated because I thought it was, it wouldn't be a bigger injury, but next day I wake up, yesterday I wake up and everything was good. So, my whole confidence and, my whole brain came back and in a nice spot. So, like I said, I think it's going to be a few days and then go back in the field.
Elvis Andrus with this afternoon's Geico quote of the game. He says he anticipates only missing a couple of days. He said part of the process, though, is learning how to deal with injuries. He's relatively young, has stayed relatively healthy throughout his career. So he says he's still learning how to adjust when he does suffer a minor little injury like this one, guys. All
right, Emily. So as Elvis misses this game, Andres Blanco will get another start at shortstop. And the Sunday afternoon tradition, kids go out to each position with their assigned Ranger. Let's check this afternoon's Terry Collins lineup for the New York Mets, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. And it's pretty much the same group as Friday night, the first game of this series, with Reyes, Turner, Beltran, Bay, Hairston, Paulino, Murphy, and Pagan switching spots from the first game of the series, and Ruben Tejada will bat ninth and play second base. They face Derek Holland out in search of his 7th win of the year.
He's had 15 starts, got a nice one-loss record of 6-2. His last 12 home starts, he hasn't lost a game. His ERA's a little high, but he hasn't lost. He's 6-0. Last start was against the Astros, and he pitched well in that game. He pitched into the 8th inning, had a quality start, gave up 3 runs through 113 pitches in that game. Won that ball game 8-3.
Defensively behind Derek Holland, the Rangers will line up this way. David Murphy, another start at left field. Chavez in center, Cruz is in right. Beltre, Blanco, Kinsler, and Moreland in the infield, and Taylor Teagarden gets the start behind the plate. Josh Hamilton out of the lineup today. Ron Washington would not say it is because he is struggling so much during day games. He says Josh just looked a little tired to him yesterday. So today, a day game, and Hamilton will at least begin the afternoon on the bench. And here is Jose Reyes. Excellent candidate for a National League MVP for the first half of this season. He leads the league in a number of categories, and he looks at strike one. Reyes batting .334. That's tops in the National League. Most hits with 109, most runs with 58. On and on you go. And that shot off of Holland will go for an infield single. We'll see if Derek comes up limping.
Sometimes on those balls you get lucky and get a carom right to an infielder. That time not so lucky. Off Derek and rolled away so that it became an easy infield hit for a guy that can run like Reyes. No chance for anybody on that one.
And Holland appears to be okay. So Reyes at first. And here's Justin Turner, the third baseman, who comes in batting .267. The Mets' top 3 in their order yesterday brought absolute havoc to the Ranger pitchers. It was Reyes, Willie Harris batting second, and Carlos Beltran yesterday. They combined to go 7 for 17 with 7 runs scored and 4 driven in. In there, 1 ball and 1 strike. Turner in the first game of the series, 1 for 4 on Friday. He's a 7th round draft pick in 2006 out of Cal State Fullerton. And Reyes over there, 2nd in the majors, 27 stolen bases, trailing only Michael Bourne of the Astros. Double play depth in the infield. There he goes, and Teagarden's throw not in time. Stolen base number 28 for Reyes.
And Reyes had a good jump. He almost had a little bit of a head start before Derek ever made his move to the plate. And maybe with a perfect throw, Taylor's got a shot. Yeah, if he dropped it right on the bag on the second base side, might have had a shot at Reyes.
He is in scoring position with a 2-1 pitch on the way for Turner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Derek Holland has not been easy to run against this year. It's just the 5th successful steal in 10 attempts with Holland on the mound.
He's got a pretty good move to first base.
And you see what the Mets did in these situations yesterday. 8 for 14 with runners in scoring position. Terry Collins, first-year manager of the Mets, getting some rave reviews in New York for bringing this team to this point. Only a game under 500, having dealt with lots of injuries. There have been plenty of issues on his plate. But he has provided an upbeat, aggressive atmosphere. That one grounded toward the hole. Backhand stop as all Blanco can do. 2 infield singles to the first 2 New York batters. Reyes having to stay put at second base. So first and second for Carlos Beltran.
It looked like Turner was trying to go the other way early in the count. Blanco shading a little bit that way toward second base. Was unable to come up with any possibilities on that softly hit ball in the hole.
Now Holland dealing with Beltran DHing today. Yesterday tied his season high with 3 hits, 3 for 5, drove in 3 runs, scored 3. And takes strike 1. Yesterday, Beltran snapping a 4-game hitless streak. Very solid numbers across the board. And with runners in scoring position this year, he's 8th in the National League, 351. A quick toss back to second with Kinsler covering. Alexio Gondo yesterday in trouble early and couldn't get out of it. Had another very short outing. That one a little bit low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Andy Fletcher calling the balls and strikes today. Tim Welke, the crew chief, is at first. Jim Reynolds at second, and Mike DeMuro umpiring at third. And time called, but apparently Fletcher not acknowledging timeout, and that's in there for a strike.
I don't know. I don't know that he ever did call timeout. He might have said something, but he just backed out when Derek was ready to pitch.
He's saying something there.
He's saying something, but he didn't make a hand gesture. The umpire didn't acknowledge it, and Derek snuck in a strike on him.
And then tries to come inside and just misses. So 2-2. 21 doubles, along with Castro, Headley, Pence, and Upton. Beltran now 34, 5-time National League All-Star. 3 Gold Gloves, 1999 American League Rookie of the Year. Line drive to Cruz out in right field. There's the first out, and Reyes will move up to third base. And the Mets now with one out, runners on the corners for Jason Bay.
And Nelly dropped the ball, but the second base umpire, Jim Reynolds, was watching and ruled that it was a catch, that he dropped it while he was transferring it from the glove to the hand. And it really wouldn't have mattered one way or the other what it was ruled, because Beltran was going to end up on third, and Turner would have been forced out at second base anyway. So whether that was a catch or a drop, it was going to be first and third and one out anyway.
Now Teagarden out making sure all the infielders are where they should be, as Jason Bay, left fielder today, batting cleanup, steps up. Didn't play yesterday, bothered by neck stiffness. Friday in game one of the series, he went 3 for 4, and another first pitch strike from Holland. 13 pitches, 9 strikes so far.
You'd love to see Bay hit a ground ball and keep Derek's pitch count down, get out of the inning after first and second, nobody out. Turn a little double play right here. Well, he goes right after him with a good fastball, 95.
Snapped that one off with some late life. Pouring in on him, still stayed in the strike zone. Jason Bay, 3-time All-Star, waiting for the 0-2 pitch. And that almost hits him. It gets away from Teagarden. Here comes Reyes to score. 1-0 Mets.
On an 0-2 pitch, other than a base hit, you couldn't pick anything much worse to happen than that. You're in the driver's seat. You got Bay at 0-2. You've got a chance for a double play. Get out of the inning with nothing happening. Instead, that pitch scores a run and takes away the chance for a double play.
And the 1-2 pitch dribbled right back to Holland. They retired, the second out of the inning. But the Mets already creating a run off 2 infield hits, a stolen base, and the pitch that got away from Taylor Teagarden. So that'll bring up Scott Hairston, the right fielder. And there was officially a wild pitch that allowed Reyes to come home. So here is Hairston. He was the DH on Friday night, went 0 for 3. A steady diet of fastballs almost exclusively from Holland here in the first. Hairston in a bit of a slump. Goes after that one. Would have been ball 2. Instead, he grounds out to Adrian Beltre. That ends the New York first, but they scratch out a run on 2 base hits, a wild pitch. Mets 1, Rangers coming to bat. Rangers prepare to bat in their half of the first inning. And the Southwest Airlines starting lineup for Ron Washington today. Ian Kinsler, followed by Endy Chavez, batting second in center field. Michael Young moves up to third, DHing with Josh Hamilton again, getting today off. Adrian Beltre cleanup. Cruz, Moreland, and Murphy, followed by T. Garden. And batting ninth, the shortstop, Andres Blanco. And they face the local boy, 25-year-old Dylan G. out of Cleburne and UTA.
Now, it's quite a start for Dylan. He's had 14 games, 11 of them starts. He lost his last start to go to 7-1. He's only given up 52 hits in 7 innings. That's a .208 opponent's batting average. Second fewest home runs allowed among starters with at least 10 starts, only 3. And he was a 21st round pick out of UTA. So here's a kid that was not that highly touted coming out of college, who has turned himself in to an outstanding big league pitcher.
Everything he throws moves, or is supposed to move. That one stayed high to Kinsler, as does that pitch. 2 balls and a strike.
In his last start, the start he lost, that was against Oakland. He walked 6 batters in 4 innings. That's the most he's walked in a game by far. And he only struck out 1. That's the fewest strikeouts he's had in his start this year.
He expected up to maybe 1,000 people from Cleburne at this game. Kinsler sends that one high toward the corner. Not very deep. Jason Bay grabs out number 1.
He hit that ball off the end of the bat.
Those 1,000 people, not all on his comp tickets. He said he expected maybe 40 or 45 friends and family to be in the park tonight. But grew up a huge Ranger fan. Favorite players: Nolan Ryan, Rusty Greer, John Wetland, Mickey Tettleton. And no doubt a dream. Maybe his dream was to be in this park pitching for the Rangers. Next best thing, he's in here pitching against the Rangers, and he starts Chavez with a strike. Endy trying to get reignited. Hit everything he was thrown first couple of weeks after he was called up from Round Rock. And he is now at a 3-for-27 slump. 111 over his last 9 games.
You know, G coming out of UTA, trying to figure out why he might have been a 21st round draft pick, didn't light up a radar gun. His fastball is 88-ish, 90-ish, occasionally a little higher, a little lower. So he didn't light up a radar gun, and he probably had an average assortment of off-speed pitches. Since he's become a pro, he has probably continued to develop his off-speed pitches, his command, and already in the game he's thrown 5 or 6 changeups. So you know that that's a pitch he likes a lot. And chances are he didn't have that same changeup when he was at UTA. And that's why scouting is such a tough profession, to project a young pitcher. You don't know which of the 20th round draft choices is going to turn into Dylan G.
Well, that changeup is his best pitch. Throws it with the same arm speed as his fastball. Good fade and drop action to it. And a liner to center field that will stay up for Pagan to make the catch. First 2 Rangers fly out. And that will bring up Michael Young in the DH spot, batting in the 3 hole today. One of the few Ranger bright spots yesterday. 3 for 4, a double, a homer, scored twice. His 11th 3-hit game of the year. And the average up to 321. That is 6th in the league. He had briefly fallen out of the top 10 a couple of weeks ago. But in his 11-game hitting streak, hitting better than 400, 4 straight multi-hit games. And he puts a charge into that one. In the alley, carrying off the top of the wall.
Gone, that's gone.
Home run.
I couldn't tell where it hit either. Well, we've had several home runs in the last couple of days that barely snuck out of the ballpark. That was tough to tell where that one actually hit.
I think it was out there where your called shot by Adrian Beltre
like
Friday.
That looked like the same ball. Let's see if we can see it. And there's a fastball that starts off middle of the plate, comes right into Michael's wheelhouse. And it did. You're right. It hit right off the top of the wall. It came back, but after it went into the stands.
And Beltre goes after the first pitch. And that is in there in right center field for a base hit.
It's funny. Each team has scored a run in the first inning, but an entirely different way of scoring a run.
Once again, see the landing of this shot by Michael.
Right off the top, and it looked like it might have gone right off the guy's shoulder.
Yeah.
With a Texas shirt on. Tough play to make right there on Karam.
Especially when you don't actually come up with the souvenir.
Yeah.
Just the bruise. So here's Nelson Cruz. Again goes after the first pitch. Base hit. First and second now with 1 run in, 2 outs, and Mitch Moreland will try and keep it going. Well, Rangers saw Kinsler go deep into the count before flying out. Chavez lined out on a 2-2 pitch. Michael Young homering on the second pitch he saw. The last 4 pitches by G. homer, single. The Rangers at 90 home runs now, still well in arrears of the New York Yankees. Michael hitting his 7th of the year. And here is Mitch Moreland. Looking for his first hit of this series, 0 for 7. And he looks at a high strike.
Well, Young hit a fastball. Beltre and Cruz both hit fastballs. And so that time, G started Moreland out with a changeup for a strike. And let 4 straight fastballs get hit to the outfield. Chavez also hit a fastball pretty well to center field, but unfortunately hit it right at Pagan in center field.
Moreland about 100 points better against right-handed pitchers. All of his home runs. Tuesday, his first career walk-off home run against the Astros. And that one is slammed into the seats, foul, 1-2. They are teeing off on these last few Dylan G pitches.
Mitch got a pretty good chance of seeing a fastball in the dirt. I have a changeup in the dirt right here after ripping that inside fastball. He is laying off it if it's out of the strike zone.
Foul the other way. Dylan G's been very tough to hit. A 208 opponent batting average. Left-handers hitting only 161 against him, and that's because of that good changeup. Moreland fouls off another one at 1-2. G worked very quickly with nobody on. He has ground things to a halt here just about in the Moreland at bat. Line drive, another base hit, right center field. Here comes Beltre, and the Rangers lead it 2-1.
Good job by Mitch right there. He fouled off the inside fastballs and still was able to wait very well on the changeup to line it over second for a big 2-out RBI.
Down and got that one low on the outside corner. Still managed to pull it for his 23rd run batted in, just his 5th in the last 20 games. And now first and third, 2 runs in for David Murphy. The off-speed pitch running low. Murphy getting his 3rd straight start, with Josh Hamilton given the day off after sitting the entire Houston series.
job right there. Two good changeups. Great movement on them, but both of them sunk out of the strike zone. David took both of them and works the count to 2-0.
You see him coming at him with that fastball down 2-0?
Yeah, he's got good movement on his fastball. He just has to keep it away from the middle of the plate, which he tried to do, but he missed with it. Tails away nicely from a left-hand hitter.
He doesn't walk many. 28 walks in his first 14 appearances this year.
A great chance to swing at a 3-0 pitch right here. Look for a fastball. And he was pitching him pretty carefully.
Murphy a walk on 4 pitches, and the bases are loaded for Taylor Teagarden. But not before a quick visit by Dan Worthen, the New York pitching coach. 5 straight Rangers have reached after Kinsler and Chavez flied out to begin this first inning. So Teagarden will try and keep the first inning going with a 176 batting average. He is 3 for 17 with 7 strikeouts since he was called up 2 weeks ago today from Round Rock. Taylor, a 2-hit game Tuesday against the Astros. Looking for his first RBI this year. And a great chance here. Base hit brings in a couple. 5th straight pitch from G, missing the zone. Cruz at third, Moreland at second, Murphy at first. And that one down the middle, a fastball, 1-1. First chance this year for Taylor with the bases loaded. Two balls and a strike. 28 pitches already for G. 15 of them strikes. Teagarden now with the hitter's count. And he pops it up. That will drift back into the seats. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Really, Tom, 2 things can happen here to make this a completely different ball game. G gets the out. Well, he gave up 2, but it could have been much worse. Teagarden gets a base hit. The Rangers have a huge first inning.
Yep, exactly right. A huge batter for G right here. Get back in the dugout. Take a deep breath. Regroup.
Sharply hit. Knocked down by Reyes, and just in time to throw out Murphy.
Shame. That was an absolute. That was the hardest hit ball of the inning right there, including the home run.
Jose Reyes, not only having the best offensive first half in the National League, he can flash you this kind of letter. That was at least going to score 1 run. But the Rangers have to settle for 2 on 4 base hits. And after 1 inning, it's 2-1 Texas. Ronnie Paulino leading things off. And he fouls the first pitch off, and let's welcome Jim Knox.
All right, thanks, Dave. You know what? A lot of Ranger fans enjoying this nice, windy, sunny afternoon. Yeah, go Rangers. And also these pitch hit and run competitors also enjoyed a nice afternoon right here at the ballpark. They were taking part in the softball baseball skills competition, and the winners would advance and have a shot to become eligible to play in the All-Star festivities, take part in the All-Star festivities. They continue on and continue to pitch, hit, and run well. For more information on pitch, hit, and run, please log on to MLB.com/PHR. Dave?
All right, Jim. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ronnie Paulino. Rangers by 1, despite the fact they had 4 rockets off of G in the first. And the Mets in the first had 2 infield hits. Only a hard hit ball was an out off the bat of Beltran, but Reyes scoring on a wild pitch from third. And after all that, a difference of only 1 run. Rangers happy to have the lead, but it could have been much more. Off the mound, diving stop, Blanco. But the third infield single among the first 6 batters faced. That's how the first began. Reyes reaching on an infield hit. And then Turner followed up with another one. Let's see what Daniel Murphy can do here.
Not much Blanco could do. He tries to make a miraculous throw, but it wasn't going to happen.
Might be better that he didn't get off the throw from that position, flat on his back. And there's been a scoring change now on the wild pitch that was originally ruled as a wild pitch. Scoring Reyes is now being changed to a pass ball against Taylor Teagarden. Steve Weller, the official scorer today. And that pitch didn't bounce. That's usually what you see in a wild pitch. It was running way inside.
Yeah, it was not an easy play for Teagarden. The ball was very hard to catch because it was right near the hitter.
Taylor able to get part of his catcher's mitt on it, but unable to keep it from getting far enough away that Reyes could come in from third. Murphy, a hot bat for a long stretch here now for the Mets. Lifting his average up to 289. And a base hit headed toward the right field corner. Paulino to third. Cruz gets it back in quickly enough to limit Murphy to a single. But the Mets start the second with back-to-back hits. Nobody out. Runners on the corners for Angel Pagan.
Nice swing right there by Murphy. Pitch left-hand hitters tend to like. Ball down and in. Well hit ball after 3 infield hits. A well hit single.
And hits now even at 4 apiece. So here is Pagan, 1 for 8 in the first 2 games here. Pagan off the disabled list now for 1 month. And hitting 288 over that span, but really struggling of late. 1 for his last 16. And the ball and a strike. Well, the Rangers really needing a good strong outing out of Derek Holland today. After Alexi Ogando was roughed up early, took the early exit yesterday. That one right off the end of the bat. It's 1-2. Derek has gone to at least 5 innings every start since May 24th. 4 innings that day. His shortest 3 innings May 7th against the Yankees. And a shot foul right by first base coach Mookie Wilson. Great name from the Mets past, and still 1-2. Mookie at first, Chip Hale, their third base coach.
It's almost the same pitch that was ruled a pass ball, way inside to the right-hand hitter.
It's a 93-mile-an-hour fastball with that much run on it, that much of a challenge for Teagarden to not let another one get past him with a man at third. And the 2-2 pitch again fouled off. Terry Collins, originally manager of the Astros 94 through 96, second place all three of those seasons. On to the Angels 97 through 99, second, and fourth. Managing for the first time in 12 years. And Pagan now working the count full. This will be the 8th pitch of this at bat, the 35th pitch for Holland. Still looking for his first out of the second. Rangers after this game off tomorrow. They will travel late in the afternoon to Houston and have the 3-game series to decide the Silver Boot at Minute Maid Park Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights. All here on Fox Sports Southwest. Finally, a fair ball, and Beltre's coming home. His throw off the mid of Teagarden, and the Mets tie it at 2-2.
Well, it was the right play because they weren't going to be able to turn a double play. The problem was the runner, I'm sure, was blocking Beltre's angle to throw the ball to the plate. He had to throw it to the side to avoid the runner. And when he did, Teagarden couldn't catch it. You see the runner and where Beltre is almost right in front of him. So Taylor's trying to keep his left foot planted in case he has to block the plate. Beltre's throw is off to Taylor's right and off his glove. Otherwise, he would have been out at the plate.
Yeah, if only that mid had the ball in it. Well, it is a fielder's choice E5.
That's a tough error on Beltre. He threw the ball the only place he could throw it. And the ball was, I mean, it was good enough to catch. I think Taylor tried to catch it and sweep around to make the tag so quickly that he couldn't keep the ball in his glove. But it really wasn't a wild throw.
Up a 2-2 tie. And another run built on an infield single. Both of the leadoff batters in this game, Reyes in the first, Paulino here in the second, reaching on infield hits and coming home on errors. And the pass ball in the first inning. Now to the number 9 batter, Ruben Tejada.
It's an unfortunate start to Derek Collins' game today because he's thrown the ball pretty well. He hasn't had much in the way of off-speed pitches. There's been 3 infield hits. That little dribbler could have been turned into an out at the plate. And now he's only in the second inning with nobody out, and he's thrown 37 pitches. He really only hit 1 ball hard. That was Murphy's. Beltran sliced a little line drive to right field, but a lot of weakly hit ground balls to the infield, but they've been effectively placed.
Yeah, to get only 3 outs on 37 pitches. That's just a lot of really bad luck for Derek Holland, and credit to the Mets for squeezing out the maximum of these early scoring chances. But contrast that to how the Rangers got their 2 runs in the first inning.
Yeah, and how the inning ended with a bases loaded 1-hop smash that shortstop made a great play on. Goes off his glove, it's 2 runs. If he gets it up in the air, it might have gone out of the ballpark. Really hard hit ball to end that inning.
It's already been a tough afternoon for Taylor Teagarden. Pass ball, not quite able to bring in that throw from Beltre. Robbed by Reyes. 2 balls and a strike now to Tejada. Ruben out of Veraguas, Panama. Signed in 2006 as a 16-year-old. Major League debut last year for 78 games. He had 213. A pop-up. Out to second base to Ian Kinsler. They're finally the first out of the second inning. 39 pitches for Derek to get 4 outs. Now a double play could end the inning, but you're going to have to do it against the top hitter in the National League in Reyes, who really set the tone by reaching on the infield single to begin the game. Then stole second, took third on the first out of the inning, and scored on what was originally ruled a wild pitch, changed to a pass ball. Reyes out of Villa Gonzalez in the Dominican Republic. Turned 28 earlier this month. Switch hitter, 3-time All-Star, including last year. And we look at the top hitters in Major League Baseball beginning play today. You have Adrian Gonzalez running away from the rest of the American League. And then Victor Martinez, the former Red Sox catcher DH. Reyes right up there. Holland now taking his time. And a big cut and a miss out in front of that off-speed pitch.
Reyes trying to hit a 3-run homer right there. Came up with a changeup instead of a fastball.
Swing had kind of an Adrian Beltre ending to it.
Came down and smacked Taylor in the glove. And the follow through.
1 ball and 1 strike. And he slams a curve into left field. Base hit. Murphy comes home and the Mets lead it 3-2. RBI number 32 for Reyes.
A good idea to try a curveball, but bad idea to throw it right there, which wasn't Derek's idea. Just didn't get it down where he wanted it.
So 2 runs in here in the inning. Only 1 out. Pagan now at second. Reyes is at first. And here's Justin Turner. He reached on an infield hit and a 2-2 pitch his first trip. And Holland fires strike 1 down the middle. Turner, the first Met to be named a Rookie of the Month for the month of May. He had 375. Drove in 20 runs. Only 12 the other months of the season. He was out of Long Beach, California, as we said, out of Cal State Fullerton. Freshman year. Titans made it to the College World Series in Omaha. And a pop-up toward the right field line for Cruz. And he's got out number 2, moving up to third base. And the second base, Reyes is in there, safe. Kinsler can't believe it. He's showing Jim Reynolds the ball, and he thought he had the tag on in time.
That's a shame. That's a nice play. Hit the cutoff man. Reyes tries to go to second. You got a chance to get out of the inning by getting someone doubled up on the bases, and you don't get the call. A short fly ball to tag up with 2 outs to get to third. I don't have any idea how he didn't call him out at second base on that call.
Looked like he got him right as the foot was arriving into the bag.
The throw was there. The tag was there. He was out easily. You get everything but the call.
Looks like he slides right into the glove right there.
There's no doubt. And if you say, well, you know, the glove could have been a split second too soon. Well, fine. There's no way you could have seen that. The throw was there. The tag was there. The only thing you can do is call him out.
And next pitch, base hit for Beltran, and 2 runs are going to score.
That's a shame.
Boy, this crew really hearing it now. This is, of course, one day after last night's home plate umpire, Mike DeMuro, made things a lot harder on the Rangers early when he lost count of the balls and the strikes, and what should have been ball 4 to Nelly Cruz, he called ball 3, and Cruz ended up making it out, and things went downhill from there on. This has been not the best work this series from this crew of Andy Fletcher, Tim Welke, Jim Reynolds, and Mike DeMuro. But up now to Derek Holland. Try and settle things down. This is a 4-run inning, and suddenly a 5-2 Mets advantage. Jason Bay, the batter.
You know, the Mets run themselves out of the inning. The Rangers make a good cutoff throw, a good throw to second base, a good tag. Unfortunately, didn't get the call. Next hitter knocks in 2 runs.
Next pitch. Just inside a ball and a strike.
Tough 2 innings for Derek Holland. You pick 2 innings where nothing seems to go your way. This is it.
This has been a few months worth of bad luck just in his first 48 pitches. 31st pitch this inning is popped up. And drifting back is Ian Kinsler, and there is out number 3 officially. But the Mets get 4 runs, 4 base hits in air, and this crew really hearing it from the crowd at the ballpark. This week, and you're invited to join Rangers captain of the 6 shooters for a watching party at Texan Station at the Gaylord Texan in Grapevine. Thursday, wear your Rangers gear to receive 10% off food purchases, plus enjoy drink specials and prize giveaways. Blanco leads off the Rangers second. And Tom, I would imagine that this has already become a game in which the Rangers are fighting through so much frustration. A couple of missed calls, it would appear, by the umpires, and now the challenge, I guess, is put all that aside and try and play like none of this has happened, and you're still just trying to get the most runs you can. But that's got to be much easier said than done. Well,
you do. You have to put it behind you. There's nothing you can do about it. It's a 3-run game, and you got 8 more at bats, so it happens early, and now you just have to make sure you go out and play the game.
Go ahead.
Don't let it bother you.
Blanco thrown out by Tejada. Let's check in again with Jim Knox.
All right, Dave, the Fox Sports Fan Express, Fox Sports Southwest Fan Express rolled in this afternoon from Tyler, Texas, courtesy KTBB FM. Guys and girls on the bus, great time riding in all the comforts of home. One of the big fans on the bus was Brent, and he has some Tom Grieve trivia. What's this about?
Yeah, Tom, this upcoming Tuesday is the 33rd anniversary of your last Major League home run. It was in a Mets uniform. It was at Wrigley Field off Ken Holtzman, who I'd just like to hear. I'd love to hear some of your recollections of the game if you have any.
Well, do you want to talk about that? Well, Tom could talk all game about that. We got another game going on. But Brent, way to stick up and way to keep up with Tom Grieve. There you go. All right. Good to have you at the ballpark. Dave.
Yeah, I do remember that. That was one of those games where you say, I'm going to swing hard in case I hit it. Swing hard, get lucky and hit it, and went right into the tarp in center field at Wrigley Field.
33 years ago.
Wow, long time ago.
Change up in there for strike to Kinsler, and it's 2-2. Dylan G threw 30 pitches to get out of the first inning. Very fortunate, only allowing 2 runs. As the Rangers smoked 4 straight hits, beginning with the 2-out homer by Young. Beltre, Cruz, Moreland following. Moreland driving in Beltre for the second run, and that's off of G. Straight to Tejada, and a 1-4-3 to retire Kinsler.
That's exactly what we're talking about. The Mets have hit 2 or 3 of those today that have fallen in for infield hits. That one could have done the same thing. Instead, it goes right straight to the second baseman and turns it into an out.
So base is clear, and here is Chavez, who lined to center his first trip. And he now 3 for his last 28. And G has started to throw more first pitch strikes here. 40 pitches, 23 for strikes. Showing bunt there. But takes the curve. First baseman Murphy playing up on the edge of the grass. Turner there as well at third, and this one right in front of the plate. Paulino handles it, not quite enough on the bunt by Endy. And the Rangers go in order in the second inning on just 12 pitches. After 2, Mets 5, Rangers 2. Southwest is brought to you by Geico Insurance, where 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. By AT&T, rethink possible. And introducing the Hyundai Assurance Trade-in Value Guarantee. See your Hyundai dealer for details. Dave Barnett, and Tom Grieve. A very warm, windy Sunday afternoon, 93 degrees when we got underway. Winds gusting above 30 miles an hour. Whistling in from right center. And first pitch, top of the third inning to Scott Hairston is a base hit to right field.
Another dribbler. It's just not meant to be so far for Derek Holland.
Hairston getting a base hit on that curveball. And remind you to vote for your favorite for the MLB All-Star Game coming on Tuesday, July 12th, 7 p.m. on Fox. And we're down to the remaining 4 greatest moments in MLB All-Star Game history. In the AL, a showdown of arguably the 2 most famous home runs in All-Star history. Ted Williams' walk-off in 1941 and Cal Ripken's swan song in 2001. In the National League, a battle between Carl Hubble striking out 5 straight Hall of Fame legends in 1934 and Stan Musial's Midsummer Magic in 55. High pop up. Out to shallow right goes Kinsler to retire Paulino. So you can go to MLB.com/moments and vote now for your favorite midsummer classics and tune in to the 2011 MLB All-Star Game. Tuesday, July 12th, 7 p.m. from Phoenix on Fox to find out who won.
A lot of people to acknowledge this half inning, Dave, that built up from yesterday. We didn't broadcast the game yesterday, but that didn't stop people from sending stuff up here. Want to wish happy birthday to Palmer Stevens. He's 13 years old today. Also want to say hi to Raymond Taylor. Raymond Taylor is the grandfather of 2 of the kids that get autographs right before you come into the players' parking lot. See those kids every day. They're very polite. And one of them came up and said, "Would you say hi to my grandpa for me today?" So I said, "Sure. What's his name?" Raymond Taylor. So you better be watching today, Raymond. You've got 2 grandkids that are very proud of you. Also love the Rangers too.
That went in there for a strike to Daniel Murphy, 2-1.
Also want to wish Zach Smith the best. He's going to have surgery tomorrow at Parkland Hospital. Recently graduated from Abilene High School. Zach, hope everything goes well tomorrow. There we go.
One hopper out to Kinsler. Double play.
That's what you get for hitting it hard.
4-6-3, and Holland faces the minimum 3 in the third on just 6 pitches. It'll be Young, Beltray, and Cruz. They trail 5-2. Dylan G just retired the side in order in the second after giving up 2 runs on 4 hits in the first, including a home run to Young, his 7th of the year. And in there on that change, 4 strikeouts, 1-1 for Michael. Michael with 51 runs batted in now, and a 12-game hitting streak. G getting through the second, throwing only 12 pitches. Holland getting through the top of the third on just 6 pitches. Reaches out, sends that one out to right center field, and Pigot is there for the first out. And let's check in with Emily Jones.
Well, guys, as you well know, and as we've already seen today, baseball does not always give you the most ideal circumstances. But guys like Michael Young say, regardless of the score, the weather, the timing, and the season, it's important to maintain the same level of intensity every at-bat, every inning, every game.
I think it's one of my biggest responsibilities. Apart from, producing and getting it done, I mean, you have to make sure also that you're bringing your teammates to a level that is going to be conducive to winning games. And I think that's something that we should all be doing for each other.
And probably no one better at doing that than Michael Young, and he does set an example for this team as far as maintaining that same level of intensity regardless of the circumstances, guys.
All right, Emily. Beltray bounces back to G. 2 outs here in the third. 6 in a row set down by G. And that will bring up Nelson Cruz, who singled for the 3rd straight hit with 2 outs in the first inning, was stranded at third. And first inning ending with the bases loaded, and Taylor Teagarden sending a one-hopper, maybe the hardest hit ball of the inning, that was flagged down by Reyes, who threw to second to get G out of that first, only trailing 2-1. Big hit of the game really was the 2-run single by Beltran in the second, after it appeared that the Rangers had gotten the 3rd out of the inning on a throw to Kinsler at second base. Reyes appeared to slide right into his glove.
Want to acknowledge one of the Rangers' best fans. She just turned 103 in May. Her name is Viney Smith from Bryson, Texas. You understand that Viney doesn't miss a game. So Viney, if you're watching today, which I assume you are, sorry we missed your birthday, but happy 103rd. Hope I'm watching baseball when I'm 103.
I hope you're broadcasting baseball when you're 103.
I hope I've just gotten done playing 18 holes, had a nice dinner, sitting down to watch a Ranger game.
There's a broken bat pop-up, and the shortstop Reyes takes care of it, and the 2nd straight 1-2-3 inning on 12 pitches. Southwest is brought to you by Hyundai. Introducing the Hyundai Assurance Trade-in Value Guarantee. See your Hyundai dealer for details. Fourth inning, 5-2 Mets. Derek Holland just had his easiest inning, his first scoreless inning, on 6 pitches, including a leadoff single by Scott Hairston. Ended with a double play ball off the bat of Daniel Murphy, and here is Angel Pagan, who reached on a fielder's choice and scored one of their 4 second inning runs. Slam past the diving Adrian Beltre, and the Mets have their 8th base hit off of Derek Holland. And let's check in with Jim Knotts.
All right, Dave, real cool idea right here for Ranger youngsters out there. You got to join the Ian Kinsler Summer Reading Program. Check out your local library. You know, a lot of participants will get a nice bookmark right here. Also, some of the youngsters picked have a chance to meet Ian Kinsler himself. A lot of nice opportunities there. Summer Reading Program, good Mohawk right here. This guy's going to do the reading, and a lot of these other youngsters out here. Dave?
All right, that's a great program Ian's involved in. They got it first. Ruben Tejada at the plate. He popped to second his first time up.
4th straight inning, the Mets have had a leadoff single.
The first 2 innings, it was leadoff infield singles by Reyes and Paulino, but laid down, and it will roll foul.
Want to thank Linda Orrick from Sanger, Texas, for her batch of cookies. Also, Janet Forer. Janet is the wife of Robert Forer, our ace cameraman up in the booth today. Thank you, Janet, for working so hard making us those cookies. Patty Patek, who has frequently made cookies for us, brought the peanut butter balls, chocolate decadence cups. She wants to say hi to Glennis Rowe in Weatherford, a longtime Ranger fan.
There goes the runner. Holland has him picked off, and
he's safe.
Out.
Oh, no,
second base. And a rather sarcastic cheer goes up for Jim Reynolds.
Nice, deliberate, accurate throw. And there really is no difference between that and the one where Beltran was called safe, except Beltran was probably out by more than that.
Pop up straight up and down, and on top of the mound, Kinsler finally takes charge.
That's not an easy play because you've got to watch the ball, and when it's almost in your glove, you can't look down to see where the mound is. And when you're running full speed on flat ground and all of a sudden the mound pops up, that can throw your balance off a little bit. Ian takes charge, and he's able to handle the mound and catch the ball.
And all 4 infielders converging there, too. So you got to communicate and make the play. And the very next pitch, Reyes slams into right field. He is 3 for 3. Celebrate America's pastime and America's independence here at Rangers Ballpark when the Rangers host the Orioles on July 4th. The best fireworks show in Texas follows the game, presented by Disney's Captain America. Tickets are still available. You can find them at TexasRangers.com or by calling 972-RANGERS. That is always a great night here at the ballpark. It'll be first of a 3-game series against Buck Showalter's Baltimore Orioles. Strike to Justin Turner. Infield single in the first, fly to right in the second.
I want to thank Shonda Jimison for the nice box of Sprinkles cupcakes. She's from Dallas. Also got a couple of nice bunt cakes. Janie's Cakes from Tyler, Texas. Thank you very much for them. By the way, most of this is going fast, too. Sounds like a lot, but we got a lot of people that can eat up here.
I'm hearing all these delicious dishes described, and I haven't seen.
Well, let's hear. You're not looking.
I've seen 1 or 2 cookies. Everything else has vanished already.
Well, you just got to look a little harder. Last one, Gene Healy from Hallsville, Texas, sent up about 20 pounds of Chex Mix. We're working on that, Gene. Thank you very much. And that is a full 2 days of all sorts of announcements.
So you caught up?
I'm caught up.
All right. 1-2 pitch on the way. And a dribbler foul off the bat of Turner. 5 runs on 9 hits now for the Mets. Yesterday's season high for them, 14 runs, also a season high 17 hits. And their big inning was the 8-run 6th, their biggest since June 22nd of last year. Big inning today, the 4-run second, 2 of which scored after what appeared to be the 3rd out was recorded at second base, but not called that way by Jim Reynolds. Next pitch, Beltran singled in 2, and a 3-2 game turned into a 3-run lead for the Mets. And another pop-up. This into foul territory is caught by Beltre. No runs on 2 hits. A man left, just 10 pitches for Holland to get through the 4th and keep it 5-2. AT&T trivia question. The Mets have been to 4 World Series with 4 different managers. How many can you name? I bet you can get all 4.
I don't know if I can or not. Let me start thinking.
Mitch Moreland leads off the Ranger 4th. He singled in a run in the 1st. That gave the Rangers a very brief 2-1 lead. All the runs in this game in the first 2 innings. Mets got 1 in the 1st, those 4 in the 2nd. At least a couple of which pretty controversial. Rangers got 2 with 2 outs in the 1st on a Young homer, and then 3 straight singles by Beltre, Cruz, and Moreland. Moreland bringing home Beltre. Well, but since then, Dylan G has been mowing him down. He's gotten the side in order on 12 pitches each of the last 2 innings. 3-0 pitch to Moreland is low, and there is the second walk issued by G.
Got that leadoff man on, trying to cut into that 3-run lead.
Moreland, the first Ranger leadoff man to reach today. The other walk G issued was to David Murphy, also on 4 pitches. Back in the 1st, that loaded the bases. And then Reyes flagging down the hot shot by Teagarden for the inning-ending force. Took G 30 pitches to get through the 1st. And this will be his 30th pitch since. Murphy with the notion there laid off. It was inside. Rangers in interleague play this year, 6-5, including last year 20-9. Only the White Sox have been a better interleague team these last 2 years. They're 22-7. Go back to 2007, and since then the Rangers are 50-33 against the National League. But their hands full in this series. That's out to right center field, but Pagan will have room right in front of the warning track. And there's the first out of the fourth. After the game here on Fox Sports Southwest, join Tom Brokaw for Boys in the Hall and hear the personal stories of some of baseball's greatest legends. Today it is Warren Spahn. Boys in the Hall after the game, presented by Subway Restaurants, where winners eat. We were in Atlanta last weekend, saw the Warren Spahn statue outside Turner Field.
Warren Spahn, that was my father's favorite player, Old Spahny, he used to call him.
Taylor Teagarden goes after the first pitch. That's in there, right center. And Moreland will make third. So the Rangers with runners on the corners with one out here in the fourth.
Yeah, a couple of good at-bats for Taylor. Line drive to right and a one-hop smash that Reyes made a beautiful play on. Fastball tailing toward the inside half of the plate. Nice job by Taylor. Good spot for Andres to come up with a big hit right here.
That's the first Ranger hit since the first inning, their fifth of the afternoon. Moreland at third. Blanco, the batter, he grounded to second, leading off the second. One for his last 23. What better time to come out of that here, although the Mets expecting a bunt, and he swings away and fouls it back. Turner a couple of steps in at third.
Yeah, that's playing way in at third with men on first and third like that. Slice a little ground ball by him. Might just end up with men on second and third.
Murphy at first was also in on the grass. Not here. And it's 0-2. Blanco, then the top of the order, Kinsler. Here in the Ranger fourth. Ron Washington never hesitant to write Andres Blanco's name into the lineup. He is going to play very reliable defense, do what he can offensively. In this case, he strikes out on 3 pitches. First strikeout on the day for G.
Beautiful changeup. Well located, good change of speeds, right where he tried to throw it. And I think with your utility infielder and your backup catcher, the manager is very comfortable with either one of those guys as long as they're a very good defensive player. And you count on the rest of your lineup for offense, and whatever they contribute, that's great. But when they're in the lineup, you want them to play solid defense. That's the main thing. And Andres definitely does that.
Kinsler takes a curve for ball one. He is flied to left and grounded out 1-4-3. Deflection off G, went right to Tejada. Lifted high, left center field, and caught up against the wall by Pagan. A bid for a 3-run game-tying home run there, taken away from Ian Kinsler. That carried 4 mark out there. Pagan had a beat on it, and it's still 5-2. trivia question for today. The Mets have been to 4 World Series with 4 different managers. How many can you name? Well, 1969, Gil Hodges. 73, Yogi Berra. 86, Davey Johnson. Most recently, Bobby Valentine in the Subway Series of 2000. Did you get those?
Nope, I didn't get Yogi Berra.
Yeah, he didn't manage the Mets very long, but
got the other 3, but I couldn't figure out the 4th one. Let's get this leadoff hitter out.
That is hit very hard, very deep and foul off the bat of Beltran. And he has hit it hard twice, line to right in the first, and then the 2-run single after what appeared to be the 3rd out of the inning on a tag applied by Kinsler to Reyes, sliding in at second base, denied on the call, which appeared to be a missed call by Jim Reynolds, the second base umpire. And that swing making it a 3-run deficit for the Rangers. Really changing the whole complexion of this game. Derek Holland battling through the first 2 innings and has scattered 3 hits in the last 2. And it's 2-2 to Beltran. Jason Bay will be next, and then Scott Hairston. Fastball in again, and it's a full count. Might well have been high for ball 4. Instead, Beltre is there to retire Beltran. And here's the first out of the 5th inning as we welcome Steve Busby to the booth.
Gentlemen, how are you this afternoon?
Pretty good, Buzz.
Good. Good.
What do you think of these first couple of frustrating innings for the Rangers today?
I haven't thought too much of them, Dave. You know, I really thought the Rangers came out and they showed some life about as far as bouncing back from a lopsided loss yesterday. But the steam was taken out of it in that second inning.
What was your view of that slide into second base? It looked like a tag to us.
I thought he was out. Yeah, I watched the replays that you guys had on, and I thought he was out. But it was also a very surprising play, I think.
Cruz goes up against the wall to retire Bay.
A surprising play, and then I thought it may have caught Jim Reynolds, the second base umpire, off guard a little bit with the. First of all, you don't expect with 1 out both runners to tag.
Right.
And I think the quickness of the cutoff by Blanco and the throw to second, he might not have anticipated that. And I'm not trying to make any excuses for him, but that was not a play you normally see in that situation.
Yeah, you very seldom when you see a guy tag up at second and go to third on Nelly Cruz on a ball that shallow in right field.
Yeah.
It was kind of surprising.
Scott Hairston, the batter. Here's the play we're talking about. Second inning. This looks to be the 3rd out. Right there on the shoe.
Yep.
A pleasantly surprised Reyes then gets on the bag. And the very next pitch, Beltran 2-run single. So very bad luck for Derek Holland. How do you think he's been able to bounce back?
I don't think that's bad luck. I think that's saying something trying to say something to the umpire and forgetting what your job is, and that's to pitch.
Fly ball out to Chavez in center, and 1, 2, 3, 11 pitches all in the air here in the 5th, and we'll be back with more from Steve Busby. MLB.TV today to see every Rangers game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit TexasRangers.com to order and get more details. MLB.TV, baseball everywhere. Endy Chavez leading off the bottom half of the fifth inning. He has lined to center and bunted in front of the plate, thrown out by the catcher Paulino. 70th pitch of the day by Dylan G is a floater that lands right on top of the railing out there. 1 ball and 1 strike. What's your impressions of young Dylan G?
I've been impressed with what I've seen, Dave. I think he comes as advertised, not overpowering stuff, but he has a great ability to change speeds, to add and subtract from the fastball. He's got a good breaking ball, good enough. Changeup is very impressive. He's thrown it at a couple of different speeds, and I think this young man has all the necessary tools to be successful.
Well, he's going for his 8th win. He's lost only 1. Like Alexio Gondo, he won his first 7 decisions this year. And this coming off 2 years ago, a torn labrum. He elected not to have surgery. Chavez takes that down the middle, 3-2. But no telling what would have happened, I guess, if he'd undergone the surgery. And he's all the way into the majors and one of the best records in baseball. So obviously made the right decision there. That's in there and all the way to the wall in right center field. Endy Chavez, a leadoff double.
That's what Endy was doing for about a week or 10 days when he got hot. Hitting line drives all over the ballpark. So that's nice to see. Pitch. G's trying to throw a strike. Didn't want to walk Chavez to start the inning.
And Endy Chavez safe at second. Safe and secure New York life. Michael Young now homered in the first. Flied to center in the third. On a pretty good power streak of late. And a curve in there for a strike. Our Coors Light cold hard blast. First inning, 1-0 pitch. Home run number 7 for Michael Young, and the Rangers were on the board. Last inning, they got the leadoff man on at a walk. Left runners at first and third. Michael Young on our Ford leaderboard, among the top of the hits leaders in both leagues. One and two. Michael up to 99, looking for his 100th hit. Adrian Gonzalez, Reyes, Starlene Castro, Hunter Pence also in that picture. Up the middle and through, base hit. There's number 100, and it scores Chavez to make it 5-3.
It appears, Buzz, I don't know what you think, that the infield grass is a little bit quicker than it was when it was thick early in the year. They had to change it when the summer comes.
Yeah, I think it is, Tom. When they put the new sod down there and they had to roll it, which kind of tamps the base of it down, I think in another week or maybe 10 days, it'll probably thicken up a little bit, but it's faster than what we've seen here in the first 2.5 months of the season.
Yeah, it's a different kind of grass, too. Early in the season, it's a kind of a winter rye, which won't grow in the summertime. That's why they replanted this Bermuda grass. It does seem like some balls are sneaking through the infield that weren't earlier in the year.
Mitch Borland talking about that before the game, says it's definitely a faster track, and that's how he likes it.
I would think so as a hitter.
Well, as a first baseman, that's how he likes it, too.
That I wouldn't understand why, but I just think, Buzz, don't you think everything's done against the pitcher?
It always has been.
Pitcher just can't catch a break.
It always has been. Lower the mound, give them body armor, shrink the strike zone. Yeah, it's a conspiracy against all pitchers.
It's surprising with Nolan as the president of the team that he wouldn't think a little more of the pitchers than that. Actually, we're just kidding. There's no choice but to make the grass grow like this right now.
Big at bat here for Beltre. 2 balls and a strike.
You know, and we were talking about this the other day a little bit, but if you had a bunch of sinker ballers, true sinker ballers, you'd have no choice except to have real tall, thick grass. But, you know, with the range of the Ranger infielders, you could afford, I think, to have it a little bit closer cut, favor the hitters some, and the range of the guys, especially in the middle, is so good that it favors the Rangers anyway.
Yeah, it should be quicker than the other team. Yeah. So, yeah, you're right. Rangers should be able to make more plays than the other team does.
G about to throw his 83rd pitch. 3 balls and a strike to Beltre. Inning began with a Chavez double. RBI single by Michael Young, who's driven in 2 of the 3 Ranger runs today. And that's hammered off of Turner. And safe at second. Young. Beltre aboard at first for Nelson Cruz.
That ball came up and got Turner right in the left knee, it looked like. He's going to have stitches on that knee for the next month.
Yeah, he's limping a little bit too. Hard hit smash by Beltre. Came up, and I think it surprised him how quickly it got there. And there's the reaction to the left knee.
That is an error charged to Turner. Ball hit basically right at him.
Well, the difference between an easy double play ball and first and second and nobody out right now.
Each team with an error. And ball 1 to Cruz, who singled in the first, popped to short in the third. So a run in, tying runs aboard here in the Ranger 5th.
I'm going to press my luck right here, Dave.
You going to call one?
I'm going to make one right here. Yep.
Well, you're red hot.
I want to be announcer of the week. I think this is the only way I can do it. Just to hit on the call twice.
Do you get more consideration if you make a go-ahead call? I mean, what I mean, if
I think the situation enters into it. Yeah.
Is that kind of like style points?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right.
In my book, it is.
Yeah. I'm all for you.
Okay. Thanks. Oops.
Chopper for Reyes, and they get the lead man at third.
Why was he
Michael
out?
Young says, "No way was I out." This time it's Mike DeMuro on the call. The man who lost track of the balls and strikes with Cruz at the plate yesterday.
Well, let's see if he was out. We'll give Mike a look at the replay. No chance for double play, so Reyes goes for the lead runner. Let's take a close-up look. I don't think he touched the bag. He has to make the tag. And it looked like he got in there to me, Buzz. I'm not sure what.
Well, it looked like Mike DeMuro motioned to Michael Young after the play that he touched the bag. And from that replay, obviously he did not.
Yeah, well, if he thought he touched the bag, then why did he make the tag?
Yeah.
Well, here's Moreland, who has singled in a run and walked. One more angle of this.
He's not on the bag, that's for sure.
That's safe, I think.
Yeah, that's close. That's close. I'm not going to second guess the umpire on that. I mean, I thought he was safe, but that's a tough play. We've seen it 4 different angles, slow motion.
Now Beltre at second, Cruz at first. And a shot flagged down by Murphy. Out at second.
Wow, what a play.
And Ron Washington out now to talk about the call at second base. Nelson Cruz has registered his disagreement. This is Jim Reynolds again.
Apparently Jim Reynolds and Ron Washington had something else to talk over. They didn't finish their discussion the first time out there.
Let's see what he's arguing about. Nice play by the first baseman.
He's saying Reyes was off the bag when he caught it, maybe.
Let's see if we can tell. That's another close one.
Very close.
I got to go with the umpire on both those. You know, whether they're out or safe, they're so close that in slow motion replay, it's tough to try to second guess on those calls. Well, definitely not against second guessing, but I'm not going to do it on those.
Tremendous play by Murphy to keep that one from heading into the corner. So 2 outs, first and third for David Murphy, who has walked and flied to center. Dylan G in the first inning, very fortunate to only give up 2 runs on 4 Rockets. Here in the 5th inning, 3 hard hit balls, so far only producing 1 run. But behind Murphy now 2-0. Tim Burdack, only left-hander in the Mets bullpen, warming out in left center field. This will be the 91st pitch of the afternoon for G. And a looper out to center field for Angel Pagan. Rangers settle for a run. 2 hits in error, 2 left. And we thank Steve Busby for the visit.
Yes, sir. Talk to you after the ball game.
First inning, Michael Young with 2 outs, a home run just over that wall in left center field, his 7th of the year. Mitch Moreland singling home Adrian Beltre. The Rangers led it 2-1. The top of the second did not go well for Derek Holland after a controversial safe call at second base with 2 outs. Next pitch, Beltran singles into a 4-run New York second. And Holland out for the 6th inning, having thrown now 77 pitches, but thrown the last 3 innings all scoreless on a total of just 27 pitches in the 3rd, 4th, and the 5th. So he has settled down nicely after the controversy and the bad breaks that went into that 4-run New York second. Rangers have tried to claw back in. Dylan G, fortunate to have only given up 3 runs. He's been an escape artist. And there is the 10th New York base hit of the afternoon, and that all the way to the wall will be a leadoff double for Paulino, his 2nd hit today.
Yeah, that's a classic at bat of falling behind the hitter, grooving a fastball, and having it ripped into the gap in left center field.
Got enough for the plate. Paulino got that one out to the gap. And that brings up Daniel Murphy. He singled and scored in the 2nd. 3rd inning, grounded into a 4-6-3 double play. And this afternoon for Derek Holland has just been one big challenge. It seems like every single pitch. Trying to hang on here and not let things get any more out of hand.
Now, in the second inning, the Mets scored 4 runs. 3 of them, though, were unearned runs because of the error. Had a chance to gun down a run at the plate, but that play wasn't made. Then the 2-run single by Beltran made it 4 runs in the inning, but only 1 of them was earned. Since that time, Derek's held the fort. 3 shutout innings. Got a challenge here to make it 4 in a row, though. Hasn't been able to locate his slider very well. He's thrown a few curveballs for strikes. Hasn't located his slider very well. He's had a pretty good fastball, but not a lot in the way of off-speed pitches to go along with it.
30 pitches in the second inning. If he has to come out here early, will be one of the big reasons. But 2-2 now on Murphy.
And there was a slider. As soon as I said that, he dropped in a beautiful slider to Murphy.
Oh, Taylor Teagarden, like I think you and me, wondering how was that not strike 3? Andy Fletcher said, I guess it was low. Wow.
It's right down the middle of the plate.
Holy cow.
It missed the target. Taylor had to move his glove from the outside to the middle of the plate, but.
And a shot down the left field line, and that is, of course, a fair ball. And Paulino will score to make it 6-3. And let's check in with Jim Knox.
All right, Dave, real quick with Breon Dennis here with the Rangers. Talk about the upcoming kids Rangers camps. One of them start tomorrow?
Yes, we have a baseball camp that starts tomorrow from 8:30 to noon for kids ages 7 to 12. So it's been an exciting time. We've already had 3 camps. I want to thank everybody who's already come out to the previous camps. But we have about 5 more camps remaining for the rest of the summer.
All right, real quick, those who want to get involved, what do they need to do, Breon?
As always, give me a call, 817-273-5297, or visit us on the Rangers website.
There we go. Good seeing you. All right, appreciate it, Dave.
All right, Jim, well, that's 3 runs now that have scored after calls that really looked like they were missed calls by Reynolds in the second inning and by Andy Fletcher here. And now Mike Maddox getting into it with Andy Fletcher, and that will cut short his afternoon, and Ron Washington as well. So he'll get his money's worth now, you can be sure. Holland had Murphy struck out. Fletcher called it low. It was well over the center of the plate in the strike zone. The very next pitch, an RBI double by Murphy, and Washington just seen enough of this today.
Yeah, there really wasn't much question that the pitch was high enough. And then after looking at the replay, there wasn't much question that it was right near the center of the plate.
I can't remember the last time I heard this level of booing at the ballpark. But it's been building all afternoon.
Yeah, just a lot of frustrating things. You know, you can't use them. You can use them for an excuse if you want to, but the bottom line is you got to do what it takes to win a ball game in spite of things that you don't like. And so what the Rangers have to do is get the Mets out right here, keep it a 6-3 game, and then take advantage of your last 4 bats and score some runs.
Jackie Moore, bench coach, now takes over. Derek Holland again forced to get extra outs. And still nobody out here in the 6th inning, and Pagan, the batter, 1 for 2 with a run scored.
And on that call, not going Derek's way, I think the thing that was unusual to see was the apparent look on Teagarden's face. He couldn't believe the call. He didn't argue. It was like, are you kidding? Where does that pitch have to be?
Players have rough afternoons. It's unusual to see almost an entire crew have a bad afternoon. I think only Tim Welke at first has not had anything controversial today. Chavez on the fly ball by Pagan wraps up the first out here in the 6th inning. Watch it again. This a 2-2 pitch to Daniel Murphy.
The thing about the pitch is Teagarden set up on the outside corner. the pitch comes back to the middle of the plate, so he has to reach for it. And, you know, in the umpire's defense, he's probably geared up looking for a pitch away because that's where the catcher is set up. The ball comes back, might not have been in his direct line of sight. And so, you know, in the course of a game, a hitter's going to make a mistake, a fielder's going to make an error, a pitcher's going to make a bad pitch, and, you know, an umpire's going to make a bad call too. The unfortunate thing about the calls that we've highlighted that we thought were bad calls is the next pitch resulted in a base hit to knock in runs. That's what's kind of accented it a little bit. And nothing happens after that. You don't even talk about it.
Yeah, but it's been followed by 3 runs, and that is the difference in the game. Ruben Tejada, who has twice popped to second. Rangers have Yoshi Tateyama now warming up in the bullpen with Holland at 91 pitches. And that one is in there toward the right field corner. Murphy will score, and it is 7-3. Tejada with his 14th run batted into the year. And this has got to be pretty close to all Maddox will allow for Derek Holland today. Wondering if Tateyama is ready out there in the bullpen. Reyes will be the batter. 3 for 3, has scored 2 runs today and driven in 1. So Holland will be apparently given at least 1 more batter. Of course, double play and you're out of the inning. 93 pitches, 60 for strikes. 7 runs on 12 hits. 3 of these runs unearned. Well, that backs Reyes off, but Fletcher calls that a strike, 1-1. Our Coors Light freeze cam. Nelson Cruz. Throw cut off by Blanco. Kinsler appearing to tag Reyes on the foot before he can get it to the bag. Ruled safe, though. Great play by Beltre to flag down that high hop and throw Reyes out for the second out here in the 6th inning.
Yeah, that's not an easy play to be able to catch that hop so high off the ground. You got to have some good reflexes to make your glove go up and make that play like that. Look at him watch the ball all the way into the glove.
So Tejada down at second base. 2 outs, and here's Justin Turner. 1 for 3, an infield single in the first. 21st pitch of the inning is a curve in the dirt. 7 runs, 12 hits in air, 3 left for New York. 3 runs, 7 hits in air, 7 left for the Rangers. Only in the 6th inning. There will be plenty of chances still for the Rangers to try and narrow this lead. And Kinsler records the final out of the 6th inning. Mets get 2 runs on 3 hits, 1 left. They're up 7-3. Sonic Drive-In. Today's jackpot worth an even $2,200 plus dinner for two at a Sonic Drive-In. And the Rangers today are hitting for Joseph Childress from Irving. If the Ranger hits a grand slam during this inning, Joseph Childress from Irving will win $25,000. You can register at any North Texas Sonic restaurant. The jackpot is getting up there. And after the ejection of Ron Washington during that top half of the inning, Jackie Moore, the bench coach, acting manager for the rest of the game, in discussion with Andy Fletcher, who by now is pretty well aware what the crowd feels about his and his crew's work today. Dylan G in the 6th inning will face Teagard, Blanco, and Kinsler.
Not sure what the conference was with Jackie Moore and now with Terry Collins.
Only time for a couple of words from Collins. But now all set for the bottom of the 6th. And it'll begin with Teagard, who singled his last time up. Rounded into a fielder's choice to end the 1st. G at 91 pitches, 51 strikes, 40 balls, 3 runs, 7 hits. And has allowed a couple of walks. G last year made his major league debut in September. 5 starts, went 2-2 with a .218 earned run average, and his major league debut against the Washington Nationals, he took a no-hitter into the 6th inning, and Willie Harris, now his teammate, homered leading off the 6th. The 3rd Met to take a no-hitter into the 6th inning in a major league debut, all against that same franchise, Montreal, Washington. Randy Sterling in '74, Brian Bannister in '06. G was leading the International League in strikeouts before being called up. And going for his 8th win against only 1 loss here in 2011. That throw pulling Murphy off the bag, and Teagard is safe.
Well, there's a break. That's about as routine a ground ball out as you can hit in the big leagues. And there wasn't one person in this park that thought that was going to result in a base runner, including Tejada, the second baseman. Fields it easily, and unfortunately for him, he throws it wild. I don't know if he felt like he was taking too much time. He had to hurry his throw to get Teagard, but Teagard hustling all the way. The result is he's on base. A lot of times a hitter will put his head down, trot to first base, and then get tagged out. That's why you always run hard to first base. You never know, even in the big leagues, what's going to happen with a throw. Maybe that leads to a big inning.
Strike 1 to Blanco, 0 for 2. He's grounded to second and struck out. The only strikeout victim of G today. And that ripped into right field is a base hit. Rangers now with something brewing in the bottom of the 6th. 2 on, nobody out for the top of the order.
Anders struck out his last time up with men on first and third, but he got a good pitch to hit right there and smoked it past Murphy into right field. Now you got the top of the order up, 2 men on, nobody out. Down by 4. Great chance to get right back in it here.
Kinsler 0 for 3 is fly to left, grounded out, and fly to center. Sharp one hopper. Turner starts a double play, 5-4-3. Teagard makes third base, but with 2 outs.
Center fielder, Andy Chavez.
And here's Andy Chavez, who doubled and scored back in the 5th.
Boy, right in the end of the glove. Good throw to second base. Tejada throws this ball wild to first base too, but Murphy's able to make the play at first, scoop it out of the dirt. Nice play. Hard slide into second by Blanco.
G making a big pitch there. And a big curve drops in for a strike to Chavez. Endy 1 for 3. Mets have right-hander Pedro Beato warming up now their bullpen. They had the lefty Tim Burdack up earlier. G now over 100 pitches, about to throw his 102nd. Little chopper right back to G. And there is the out. G works out of trouble. No runs, a hit, an error, one left. Still 7-3 Mets. Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Check out the Ford F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. And by Southwest Airlines, new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. Dave Barnett and Tom Grieve on a sun-splashed, very windy Sunday afternoon. We get to the 7th inning. The Mets leading 7-3, and Derek Holland will try and get one more inning at least as he faces the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, Beltran, Bay, and Hairston. 7 runs on 12 base hits, 3 of those runs unearned in their 4-run second. Beltran, the key hit there with a 2-run single on the very next pitch after the Rangers thought they had ended the inning. On a play at second base. He's also lined to right and popped to third. Beltran in the final year of a 7-year contract and a career that really looks as if he peaked 5 years ago. 2006, 41 homers, 116 runs batted in. Both those numbers, homers and RBIs, have been down each successive season. Right through the glove of Holland. He couldn't believe he didn't come up with that, and Beltran reaches. By the time Blanco got to it, no chance for a play at first.
Yeah, that was not a hard hit ball. Derek just reached for the ball and missed it. I think he's shocked he missed it. Just comes right back to him on one easy hop. Might have had some spin on it, maybe.
E1. Both teams now have made 2 errors, and that will be all for Derek Holland. He has gone after 102 pitches. And it will be Yoshi Tateyama. He will come in to pitch to the right-handed Jason Bay. Pitching change, top of the 7th. Arizona Desert for one spectacular night in the summer's biggest event, as Fox brings you every thrilling moment of the 2011 MLB All-Star Game. Our coverage begins Tuesday, July 12th, live from Phoenix at 7 p.m. only on Fox. Verizon called to the bullpen. Yoshinori Tateyama comes on with Beltran at first base. Nobody out here in the 7th inning.
Yeah, Yoshinori's numbers are solid. Be his 15th game, solid ERA. 12 strikeouts and only 1 walk. Opponent's batting average only .203. He's given up 3 home runs. Left-hand hitters took him deep.
Jason Bay today 0 for 3 against Holland. Bounce to the mound, popped to second, flied to right. Derek Holland today, 6 innings plus 1 batter, 7 runs, 4 earned runs on 12 hits. For the first time this year, he did not walk a batter. For the second time in his last 3 starts, he also did not strike out a batter. And this Tateyama quickly jumps out in front of Bay, 0-2. So Derek Holland's bid for his 7th win of the year against 2 losses. Not looking good at the moment, but the Rangers do have 3 more innings to try and cut into this lead. Tateyama's order of business: keep the margin 4. And then Jason Bay will be followed by Scott Hairston here in the 7th. The Rangers now with Arthur Rhodes throwing in the bullpen. Tateyama got his first major league win Tuesday against the Astros. Pitched 1 inning. Recorded just the 8th win ever by a Japanese native for the Rangers. Otsuka had 4 and Ekirabu had 3. It was the 14th win ever by a native of Japan here at Rangers Ballpark. Finally issued his first walk. He did not walk a batter among the first 57 he faced in his major league career this year. And Bay keeps fouling off pitch after pitch. Tateyama is allowed to run in just one of his last 8 appearances, covering 7 innings. Yankees got to him for 3 on June 14th at Yankee Stadium. An 11-year veteran of Japanese baseball. And he gets the strikeout of Bay. First strikeout of a New York Met hitter today. First out of the 7th.
This is that slow, sweeping breaking ball that Bay had managed to foul off in that at bat, but not that time. That one broke a little bit farther. He couldn't catch up with it, couldn't reach it.
So now the right fielder Hairston. He's grounded to third, singled and flied to center. Rangers hoping for a double play ball here. Yeah, the first pitch breaking ball for a strike. Derek Holland didn't have his best outing or anything close to it, but really didn't have any breaks go his way either. Managed to last into the 7th inning after giving up 5 runs in the first 2. Next 3 were scoreless. It's got 2 more in the 6th inning. The health picture for the Ranger pitching staff seems to be looking up at the moment. 0-2. Darren O'Day scheduled to throw again tomorrow. The results so far are encouraging for him. He says there's no pain in his hip. They're just getting him into pitching shape. Scott Feldman threw 88 pitches last night, and the Rangers trying to get him up to 100 pitches before they think he'll be ready to rejoin the staff. And Tommy Hunter also making progress. He's had some bad innings, but then he's bounced back and ripped through 3-4 innings looking dominant. There are a lot of questions for Wash before this game about Alexi Ogando and his next scheduled start. Another strikeout. Tateyama gets the first 2 strikeouts of the game. Bay and Hairston.
Frustrating at bat for Hairston. Kind of walking back to the dugout, shaking his head, missing that big breaking ball. Just couldn't wait on it. Tateyama's delivery tricks you into swinging too soon.
So 2 outs. Beltran still at first, and here's Ronnie Paulino, who's had a big day. 2 hits, including a double. 2 runs scored. Wash asked about whether Ogando would make his next scheduled start in 5 days, and he would not commit to that. Another breaking ball for a strike. Wash said, we'll see what develops. There are a lot of possibilities to consider. Right now, Ogando scheduled to go Friday, with the Rangers return back home after the Houston series against the Marlins. Solid shot out to Chavez in center, and Tateyama comes in and does the job. Retires all 3 batters. No runs, 1 error, 1 man left. Stretch time at Arlington. of youth baseball leagues in your community. If you'd like to learn more about Chevy youth baseball programs, go to youthsportswire.com. Remember back in the early 1980s, Rangers thought they had a contending team, and they were just lacking a left fielder. And so then general manager Eddie Robinson sent promising pitching prospects, Ron Darling and Walt Terrell, to the Mets for Lee Mazzilli, who immediately pronounced left field an idiot's position. Anybody could play left field. He wanted to be a center fielder. And safe to say that's not one of the happier transactions in Rangers history, but it worked out awfully well, Tom, for the Mets, as Ron Darling was a stalwart member of their pitching staff for a number of years.
Yeah, so was Walt Terrell. Yeah, that trade happened during spring training. Ron Darling and Walt Terrell were both at Plant City, minor league spring training with the Rangers. Ronnie happened to be at the hotel, and so he got a call from Lou Gorman. Lou Gorman was the general manager of the Mets, and Ron knew Lou Gorman, thought he was just calling him to congratulate him on a good spring training, had a chance to maybe get called up during the season. Instead, in the conversation, Lou Gorman said, "You don't know that you've been traded, do you?" And Ron said, "No, why? Have I been traded?" He said, "Yeah, we just acquired you in a trade." And that's how Ronnie found out. Walt Terrell was even harder. We were in a meeting. Joe Klein was the farm director, and we had to tell Walt Terrell, but he was at a par 3 golf course that was open at night under the lights in Lakeland. And we had to drive over to Lakeland and find Walt Terrell, who was in the middle of the golf course, and tell him that he'd been traded to the Mets. So that was a tough day for the farm system to lose those two guys, and looked like a good trade for the big league team, but Lee Mazzilli just didn't come over here and play very well.
New pitcher Pedro Beato, and Michael Young thrown out by half a step by Tejada. Made a nice stop out on the edge of the grass. So Beato, 24-year-old, 6'4", 222, out of the Dominican Republic, gets his first out of the 7th.
Yeah, look, for a second like Tejada might be unable to get up in time to make that play, but comes up with a strong throw and does make the play.
It'll bring up Adrian Beltre. Singled and scored in the first. And lines that one to Bay out in left field. Hauls it in front of the track. One of the hardest hit balls of the day. But Beato gets 2 outs on 3 pitches here in the bottom of the 7th. They have left-hander Tim Burdack up, warming up for the second time. And here's Nelson Cruz, who has singled, popped up, and grounded into a fielder's choice. Beato making his first go-round through the major leagues this year after 5 years in the Orioles system. Rule 5 pick back in December by the Mets. Never above Double-A. Bowie in the Orioles system, but last year 4-0 with a 2.11 earned run average in 43 appearances. And a breaking ball grounded to Reyes at short, and only 6 pitches needed for Beato to retire the side in the 7th inning. Going through the heart of the Ranger order, it's still 7-3 New York.
The 8th inning, Rangers trail the Mets 7-3. David, top time for the Progressive fan of the game. I like this girl, Anna. Big friends with Dylan Jude pitching for the Mets. They have something like 1,000 people in from Cleveland, but she is just about the only Dylan G fan rooting for the Rangers today. Here's the Progressive bag, the hat, the shirt. Anna, what do you have to say?
Hey, Dylan, he's doing a great job. We love you, Dylan. But if it wasn't for the ups, the Rangers would be winning. Boo!
Still having a good time. Thank you very much, Dave.
All right, well, that's what Dylan G expected. About 1,000 people from Cleveland. They throw 6 innings. And now Arthur Rhodes, the third Ranger pitcher of the day, comes on after Tateyama worked the 7th inning, getting all 3 outs, 2 on strikeouts. And Arthur Rhodes dealing first to the left-hand hitting Murphy, who is 2 for 3, singled and scored in the second, grounded into a double play in the third, doubled in a run and scored in the 2-run 6th inning.
Dave, we got a very nice gift. We don't have their last name, though. It's from Daryl and Yvonne. Sent up that nice, it looks like a nice holder for scissors and very crafty type of thing. So thank you.
A lot of work went into that.
Yes, thank you very much, Daryl and Yvonne.
2 balls and a strike to Murphy.
Probably aren't a lot of couples who are Ranger fans named Daryl and Yvonne, so I would think their friends would probably know who we're talking about.
Mark Lowe loosening up. Yeah, we're talking to the Daryl and Yvonne who made us the nice scissors holders. That Daryl and Yvonne. 3-1 to Murphy. Arthur Rhodes 3 2/3 scoreless innings over his last 5 appearances. Scored on in just 2 of his last 13. 3-3, 1 save, 2 blown saves of .467. Earned run average, and that line drive, a base hit by Murphy. He has a 3-hit day. And let's check in with Emily Jones.
Well, guys, I know you talked a little bit about the pitchers on rehab assignments in Round Rock. It appears that catcher Mike Napoli will be joining them soon. He took some batting practice out here on the field this afternoon. Also did some work behind the plate. At first played long toss. He said he felt really good, and the plan is for him to travel with the team to Houston, then go to Round Rock and begin that rehab assignment on Thursday.
Yeah,
Sounds great,
his return, whenever it happens, will be a very welcome one. Rangers have missed his power bat. Pop up by Pagan. Out to Kinsler. 1 gone in the top of the 8th.
I didn't have a chance to comment on Murphy's day today, but he's had 4 excellent at-bats, all against left-handed pitchers. He's had 2 singles and a double, scored a couple of runs, hit all 3 of those balls hard. And then his 1 out was a 4-6-3 double play. That was a 1-hop smash that Kinsler turned into a double play. Oh, he's had 4 good at bats today. He's got his average up in the mid 290s now. Again, we don't see the National League all that much, but in the short time we've seen Murphy, he's been pretty impressive the way he swings the bat.
So Arthur Rhodes faces 2 batters. Right-handed Ruben Tejada is due up next, and the right-hander Mark Lowe will come on. So Rhodes allows a single, gets 1 out, and Rhodes takes over here in the top of the 8th. Great hands play, and this in the first inning. Hard shot by Teagarden. Reyes somehow flags it down, forces Murphy at second base, and limits the Rangers to 2 runs on 4 hits and a couple of hard hit outs in that first inning. The Rangers led 2-1. That was wiped out by a 4-run Mets second. Rangers got a run in the 5th inning. Mets answered with 2 more in the 6th. And now Mark Lowe trying to keep this a 7-3 game in the 8th. He inherits Daniel Murphy at first with 1 out. And the second baseman, Ruben Tejada, 1 for 3. He singled in a run in the 6th. Mark Lowe has retired all 8 batters he has faced over his last 2 games, stranding 4 inherited runners. And on the year, has allowed only 3 of 22 inherited runners to score. That's the 7th best percentage in the American League. Last week in Atlanta, got his 2nd win. 1 inning, all 3 outs on strikeouts. And another foul out of play down the right field line. 0-2 to Tejada. Game featuring 2 former UTA pitchers. Dylan G, the starter for the Mets, in line to go 8-1. And now Mark Lowe. Right-hander Jason Isringhausen, left-hander Tim Burdack throwing in the New York bullpen. And 1 ball and 2 strikes to Tejada. Rangers from here. Next play at Minute Maid Park in Houston on Tuesday. And Astros and the Tampa Bay Rays have a wild one going. In the bottom of the 8th inning, it's Tampa Bay 11, Houston 10. There have been 6 runs in the 8th inning as they start the runner Murphy, and Tejada fouls it back. Tampa Bay got 3 in the first. The Astros came right back. They've scored in all but 2 innings. Tampa Bay has scored in all but 3 innings. They got 4 in the 8th. Astros have answered back with 2, and they're still batting in the bottom of the 8th, and that is 11-10 Tampa Bay. And now going to the 9th inning at Minute Maid Park. Very close play at first base. Murphy just back in. Yeah, it looked like Tim Welke had that call right. I don't think Tim Welke's missed anything today. There he goes. Teagarden's throw in time.
Great throw by Taylor. Right on the bag.
Round of sarcastic cheers for Jim Reynolds, who makes this call for the out. Boy, and Tom, throws like that, you said, I think on the last homestand, nobody throws to second better than Taylor Teagarden.
He's gotten really good at getting rid of the ball, working on his footwork. He's got excellent velocity on his throws, and he's been very accurate too.
Lowe strikes out Tejada. Rhodes and Lowe face the minimum 3 in the 8th inning. Moreland to lead off the Ranger 8th. with Dana Larson.
And yes, indeed, Dave, when we come back here in just a little bit, we'll have Rangers Live, the post-game show. Steve Busby, along with Jim Sundberg, will be here today, the full panel, as we break down what's been a rather eventful game so far. So join us in just a little bit for Rangers Live, the post-game show, guys.
That's a good word, eventful. One way to sum it up. Tim Burdack, left-hander, has been up a couple times in the bullpen, finally into the game, the third Mets pitcher. 5'11", 192, 37, on for the 33rd time this year. 25 strikeouts against only 9 walks. He will face the left-handed Moreland and Murphy to be in the 8th.
Yeah, in this particular game, this is when you would bring your only left-handed reliever into the game, when you've got left-hand hitters hitting back-to-back right here.
Burdack unscored on in his last 10 outings, covering 7 innings and in 25 of his 32 appearances. Left-handed batters batting .273 against him, 1 home run. And a ball and a strike. Burdack and Astro the last 3 years. 07 with Detroit. For that, 2 years with Baltimore. Originally came up in '98 with the Royals. And a hot shot flagged down by Tejada. Another terrific play turned in by the Mets, and Moreland is robbed. 1 out of the Ranger 8th.
Yeah, there have been a number of these plays. Reyes made a critical one in the first inning with the bases loaded against Teagarden. The second time it's happened to Mitch Moreland. Murphy made a beautiful play against Moreland with men on base back in the middle of the ball game. And now it's Tejada. 3 different infielders have made those nice diving plays in the ball game today. 2 of them against Mitch.
Here's David Murphy, who walked in the first and has twice flied to center. David, his 3rd straight start. In left field today, Josh Hamilton given the day off, and a pop-up out to shallow center for Pagan. Rangers' next Sunday home game will be July 3rd against the Florida Marlins at 7:05, and the first 10,000 kids 13 and under will receive a white Ian Kinsler jersey. Compliments of Dr. Pepper and Tom Thumb. Get your tickets today at TexasRangers.com or by calling 972-RANGERS. Well, they've had the right-hander Jason Isringhausen up. And he is ready to come in now with the right-handed Taylor Teagarden, the on-deck hitter. Burdack gets the 2 left-handed hitters, Moreland and Murphy. And now the veteran making a big comeback this year, Isringhausen, will come on to try and get the 3rd out. Isringhausen comes on to try and get the last out here in the 8th inning. Isringhausen, originally up with the Mets in 1995, went to Oakland in '99, has bounced around and pitched all last year at AAA Louisville. The year before that, 9 outings with Tampa Bay, and he has come back to his original franchise here at age 38 and faces Taylor Teagarden, who is 1 for 3. Isringhausen 9 different times on the disabled list. Elbow surgery, shoulder problems, torn elbow tendon. He's had mostly elbow miseries through his career.
He had 8 straight years where he averaged well over 30 saves a year. He had 47 with the Cardinals. When he first came up with the Mets, there were 3 young starting pitchers, Pulsipher, Isringhausen, and I can't remember the third, they were talking about these 3 guys forming another great Mets starting pitching staff. Didn't work out for him. Didn't work out for Isringhausen as a starting pitcher, although he became an excellent closer.
Two balls and 2 strikes to Teagarden.
Pulsipher was a hard throwing left-hander.
Ground ball. Reyes at short. 3 up and 3 down against Burdack and Isringhausen. The Rangers go in order in the 8th. On to the 9th, still 7-3 New York. On Fox Sports Southwest, brought to you by Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. By the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. By Citibank. And by your Texas Ford dealers. Check out the Ford F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. Top of the 9th, Mark Lowe against Jose Reyes, who sends the first pitch way out to right center field, 1 hop off the wall. 4th hit of the day. Reyes digging for 3rd, and he is in there with a leadoff triple.
Well, for a guy that seems to average about 12 or 13 triples a year in his career, we get to see why. That's how fast he can go around the bases. He's also got surprising power for a wiry guy. He can drive the ball into the gaps. He's not a little punch and Judy hitter. He can drive the ball. And the minute that ball hit the ground, that was a triple.
14th triple And his third 4-hit game this year. Rangers play the infield in. Justin Turner, the batter. Infield single. It's flat out, popped out, and grounded out. Curtis Granderson with 23 triples in 07, the most since 2000. And Reyes, they have caught him by the All-Star break at this rate. Breaking pitch in there for a strike. 1-1 to Turner. Derek Holland started. 103 pitches, 6 innings plus, allowed 7 runs, 3 of which were unearned on 12 hits, did not strike out or walk a batter. Off the fists, in comes Cruz, and Reyes is going to stay put. What a perfect strike to Teagarden. He made the right decision. Boy, it is fun to watch Nelson Cruz uncork those throws of his from right field.
And that's why it was so surprising in the second inning with 1 out when they tagged up Nelly Cruz on that short pop-up. They weren't going on that one.
So there's 1 out. And here is Beltran, and he will be intentionally walked to get to Jason Bay. First base open. That'll set up the double play possibility. Carlos today, huge hit, a 2-run single back in the second on the first pitch after the controversy at second base on what looked like Kinsler had tagged Reyes for what would have been the 3rd out of the inning. Ball 3. Ron Washington ejected for the first time this year. Jackie Moore, the bench coach, in charge. Ball 4 to Beltran, and now it'll be Jason Bay, who is 0 for 4 today, including a strikeout, the first batter faced by Tateyama in the 7th. That Tampa Bay Houston game, the Rays have 3 in the top of the 9th. They are still batting and lead 14-10. 14 runs on 19 hits for the Rays, 10 runs on 14 hits for the Astros. We're now informed that there were 2 ejections in the top of the 6th. Elvis Andrus was thrown out for something he said from the dugout, and then Ron Washington was thrown out.
Well, the first one occurred with Andy Fletcher, the home plate umpire, going out to the mound to speed up the conference between Mike Maddox and Derek Holland, right? And it looked, I mean, it looked obvious that he kicked out Mike Maddox, but that was Elvis. Wow. I guess there's no way we'd know that from up here. Elvis must have yelled pretty loud and pretty clearly to have been recognized like that. And I guess they just found out in the press box what happened too.
Yeah, we're just now informed. Boy, and he got washed almost before he was even out of the dugout. This is Andy Fletcher.
Oh, there it is.
That's what Elvis said to get his ejection.
He knew it was Elvis too. Elvis must have been on the top step of the dugout.
And Wash thrown out just as he is arriving to begin the conversation. Oh, just missing there at 99 miles an hour, 2-2. Well, the 6th inning turned a 5-3 game into a 7-3 game, and so far that's been the most recent scoring. Beltre out at second, not in time at first, and Reyes comes home to make it 8-3. Well, not quite hit hard enough by Jason Bay to turn into the double play.
They're going to get Felice a third of an inning, it looks like here. He was the last guy warming up anyway. No, maybe Darren Oliver. Yeah, it just wasn't hit hard enough. Got jammed. Good pitch right there for Mark.
So that will do it for Mark Lowe, who pitches 1 inning, and Neftali Feliz will come on to try and get the 3rd out. $1,879 at the ballpark today. And with 2 outs, a run in, 1 man on, Neftali Feliz will try to get the final out here. Feliz last worked on Wednesday against the Astros, his 4th blown save of the season. Gave up a career high 4 runs on 4 hits, 3 extra base hits. That followed a 2-inning outing the previous game. So on for the 28th time in 2011. And Scott Hairston, who is 1 for 4 at the plate. Bay at first after the fielder's choice. Reyes scoring after leading off the 9th inning with a triple. And Feliz starts out at 94 miles per hour to Hairston. That 4th blown save for Feliz on Wednesday, matching his total from all of last year. 2 balls and no strikes to Hairston. In the Ranger 9th, Blanco, Kinsler, and Chavez do up, the 9-1 and 2 hitters. Line to left, Murphy comes in to make the catch. And Feliz on just 3 pitches gets the 3rd out of the 9th inning. Rangers need at least 5, down 8-3. inning. On save situation. Mets up 8-3. Rodriguez this year 1-2, a 325 earned run average. He has converted 20 of 23 save opportunities. 7th season of at least 20 saves. That's tied for the 3rd most among active players. And K-Rod to face Blanco, Kinsler, and Chavez. Scheduled 3 here in the 9th inning. Dylan G, the starter, 6 innings, 3 runs on 8 hits, a strikeout, walk 2. Beato, Burdak, and Isringhausen have pitched 2 perfect innings in relief of G.
Dave, for the few people out there who might be concerned who that 3rd Mets prospect was, we mentioned Bill Pulsifer and Jason Isringhausen when they first came up with the Mets. The 3rd one was Paul Wilson, and he was the most highly touted of the 3. He was the number 1 pick in the 1994 draft. Went on to have a nice major league career with different teams. And it just goes to show how tenuous young pitching can be. Remember the picture on the front of the Sporting News, oh boy, long time ago, of Todd Van Poppel when he was picked by the A's, and 3 other pitchers. There were 4 of them, the future aces of the A's staff, and it turned out that none of them turned out to be the aces of the A's staff, which just goes to show you, for every young pitcher that you expect to become a big league starter for you, you better have 4 or 5 to choose from, and it's not always going to be the one you expect it to be. Kurt Dressendorfer was another one.
0-2 to Blanco. Dylan G, 21st round pick.
Yeah, he would be one that you wouldn't expect to be 8-1 in a major league season, based on coming out of the draft. Probably a lot of pitchers the Mets took that year higher than the 21st round pick that aren't going to have the big league career that he is.
And Paulino unable to hang on to that foul tip. Great pitching matchup at Dodger Stadium today. The Angels with Jared Weaver, Clayton Kershaw of Highland Park on the mound for the Dodgers. Angels just scored the first run of that game in the top half of the 7th inning. It's matching 5 hitters. 1-0 Angels in the 7th. They started the day right on the Rangers' tail. Broken bat ground ball. Turner and Murphy cannot make the play at first base. Blanco reaches to begin the 9th.
And the Angels are starting to play better. They're 8-3 in their last 11. Can be 8-3 in their last 11 games if they win today.
Just 2 back.
When they're starting pitching, they can be a major factor, right along with Seattle.
That goes as a base hit. Blanco with a 2-hit day. And now Ian Kinsler, who is 0 for 4. He's flied to left and center. 2 grounders, one of which was turned into a double play. And he whacks the first pitch deep, but foul. Rangers needing 5 runs here. 1 base runner. That's the start. Kinsler and then Chavez. And then it would be Michael Young, who has homered and singled in a run today.
Yeah, Rodriguez is still a good closer. He's just not as dominant as he used to be. The fastball is now 89, 90, 91, 92. It used to be 95. Breaking ball is not quite as crisp and sharp, giving up more hits than innings pitched. But he still saved 20 games. He still knows how to save a ball game out there.
He is just 29. Seems like he's been around forever.
And he's got a violent delivery. And he's pitched in a lot of ball games over the last 7 or 8 years.
2008 set the major league save record with 62. 4-time All-Star. But behind Kinsler now 3-1. .62 saves in his final year with the Angels in 08. 0-9 moved to the Mets, saved 35 last year, down to 25 saves. Ball 4, and it gets behind Paulino. But Blanco will stop at second base, and the Rangers have the start to the 9th inning rally that they need.
Rodriguez still struck out 41 in 36 innings. But he got a strike on Kinsler on that long foul ball, and then threw 4 straight balls. And got the second place hitter. He got to go through the middle of the lineup. Rangers have 5 runs to go, but they're off to a good start.
And Terry Collins will come out now. Not the pitching coach Worthen. Andy Chavez today has lined to center, bunted into an out. Led off the 5th with a double and scored the most recent Ranger run. Singled in by Michael Young. And last time bounced to the mound. Conversation with Collins was a brief one, and now Rodriguez set to go to work to Chavez. As we said, the Angels up 1-0, 7th inning at Dodger Stadium. If they win and the Rangers lose, the margin will be 1 game for the Rangers over LA. Night game tonight, Seattle, the visiting team again. At home, though, at Safeco Field to take on the Marlins. Series moved from Miami because of a U2 concert.
It shows you the Mets are not real confident right now in Rodriguez. They've already got Bobby Parnell throwing out in the bullpen. They got a 5-run lead. Infield single and a walk. And with your closer on the mound, someone else is warming up. Might not have been the conversation that Collins wanted to hear out there.
That one served toward the opposite field, right on top of the tarp, and it's 1-2. Rangers led this game briefly after 2-1. Mets came back with 4 in the second, 2 in the 6th, and 1 in the top of the 9th. 8 runs on 14 hits, 2 errors. Mets have left 6, 3 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors. Rangers have left 8. To left field, Jason Bay can't get it. It's over his head and off the wall. Blanco scores. Kinsler held at third. RBI double by Chavez, his second double today, and it's 8-4.
The ball hit pretty well by Blanco. That just sliced away off the bat. You said, well, maybe Bay can get to this ball, but it's a high off-speed pitch. Might have been a changeup. But he drives it over base head. Had no chance to get to that ball.
Tom, he's had a couple of good at-bats today, showing the form that he had when he first came up from Round Rock.
Yeah, nice to see him back. Couple of doubles.
So 2 in scoring position for Michael Young and nobody out. Base hit really makes it interesting. 15 pitches from Rodriguez. 9 strikes. There was the 6th ball. Michael, first inning, his 7th home run of the year, singled in a run in the 5th at 52 runs batted in. And one of the best all year long in these situations, with runners in scoring position. Extended his hitting streak to 12 today. And Rodriguez continues to miss outside, and the ball's out there not very close. So 2-1. And Bobby Parnell has apparently thrown enough out there in the bullpen. Shortstop Reyes to get the out as Kinsler comes home with the second run here in the 9th inning, and it's 8-5. Chavez remains at second, and with one out, here is Adrian Beltre.
You just need another base runner and get that tying run to the plate.
Michael Young with 3 runs batted in today. Beltre a single and scored in the first. Reached on an error in the 5th. Again, Rodriguez missing outside. Beltre last time up hit it hard, lined out to Bay in left field. Tying run of the on-deck circle. That is in there for a strike. 1-1. The A's lost at Philadelphia today, 3-1. Roy Halladay now 10-3. ERA down to 2.40. Beltre with the notion that time. Way wide, 2 balls and a strike. Outman the loser for the A's. Now 3-2. Big cut and a miss, and it's 2-2. Adrian tried to make it a 1-run game right there. Yesterday, of course, it is 14th home run, ending a 13-game drought. Not going deep. There goes the runner, and he reaches out, and it's a grounder to short. Reyes just in time for the second out, and Chavez now with 2 outs at third base for Nelson Cruz. Nelly today 1 for 4. He singled in the first. Rangers got 2 of their runs, 4 of their 10 hits in the first inning before Dylan G settled down and got through 6. So Chavez takes his lead off of third. Cruz goes after the first pitch into the right field corner. Hairston slides but can't get to the foul ball. Long run and a good effort by Scott Hairston. Ball just kept slicing away from him. Dodgers have just tied it. They have a run at the bottom of the 7th inning. Angels 1, Dodgers 1. Tony Gwynn tripling in Clayton Kershaw for the run for the Dodgers. Paulino way up out of his crouch to bring that one in.
You can see Rodriguez reaching back for all he's got right there, and it came in at 89 miles an hour. He's 5, 6, 7 miles an hour less than he was a number of years ago.
1-2.
Still got that pitch.
He's down to his final strike.
That's a big time changeup right there. He used to throw a hard, he called it a slider. It almost looked like a hard curveball. It probably still does. Then he came up with that changeup to give him a third pitch.
Left field, right at bay. And the Mets take an 8-5 victory. And in doing so, they take the series and drop the Rangers to 41-38. 8 runs on 14 hits for New York, 5 runs on 10 hits for the Rangers. Stay with us. Ranger Live coming up.